New York City is full of secrets hiding in plain sight. Beneath the bustling streets, inside iconic landmarks, and under the parks we love, lie stories almost no one knows. Today we're uncovering 7 of the most fascinating untold mysteries that still shape the city we know today. From the very first subway station that time forgot, to a park built on top of thousands of unmarked graves, these hidden chapters of NYC history prove that the city that never sleeps still has plenty of surprises waiting to be discovered. So let's dive in and explore these incredible hidden gems together. First up, the beautiful abandoned City Hall subway station. When the very first subway line opened in 1904, engineers wanted to create something truly special for the very first passengers. That's why they built City Hall Station as one of the most stunning stations ever constructed in America. It featured elegant Romanesque Revival architecture, breathtaking Guastavino tile vaults that look like they belong in a cathedral, gleaming brass chandeliers, and soft natural light pouring through beautiful arched skylights. It was a masterpiece meant to impress the world. But by 1945, longer modern trains and the station's sharp curve made it impractical and unsafe for regular service. So the city quietly closed it to passengers. Today the 6 train still loops T-Ho-it every single day on its way back uptown, but almost no one ever gets to step onto that breathtaking platform unless they're lucky enough to join one of the rare transit museum tours. It remains a hidden architectural gem right under the heart of Manhattan, frozen in time. Next is the secret Potter's Field beneath Washington Square Park. What if I told you that one of New York's most popular parks, where people picnic, play chess, and enjoy sunny afternoons, actually sits on top of up to 20,000 unmarked graves? From 1797 all the way through the 1820s, this land was the city's official Potter's Field, a burial ground for the poor, the unknown, and thousands of victims of yellow fever epidemics that swept through the city. Bodies were laid to rest here quickly, often with no headstones or markers at all. The vast majority were never moved when the park was later created. So every time you're relaxing on the grass or watching street performers, you're literally standing above one of the largest forgotten burial grounds in the city's long history. It's a haunting reminder of how New York has literally been built on top of its past. Then there are the hidden wine cellars inside the Brooklyn Bridge. During construction in the 1870s, engineers faced an unexpected problem. 2 busy wine merchants stood directly in the path of the massive stone anchorages they needed to build. Instead of tearing the businesses down, they came up with a brilliant solution. They constructed enormous stone vaults right beneath the ramps and rented them out as wine cellars. These cool, dark chambers were so large they could hold up to 1 million gallons of wine and champagne. The rental income from the merchants actually helped pay for parts of the bridge itself. Even after the bridge officially opened to the public, the vaults continued storing fine wines for decades. Imagine walking across one of the world's most famous landmarks while a secret underground winery hummed below your feet. It's one of the most surprising engineering stories in New York history. Now let's head over to the shoreline at Brighton Beach. If you walk along the rocks at low tide after a big storm, you might suddenly spot something eerie emerging from the breakwater, dozens of haunting stone faces staring back at you from the water. For many years, no one knew who carved them or why they were there. It turns out they were created in the 1970s by a local artist named John Philip Capello and his brother. Working with simple chisels and a lot of patience, they transformed ordinary rocks into these striking, almost ancient-looking sculptures. Most New Yorkers still walk right past them every day without ever noticing or knowing the story behind these hidden works of art. They've become a quiet, mysterious part of the beach that only a few people truly appreciate. On the southern tip of Roosevelt Island stand the haunting ruins of a Gothic-style hospital designed by the same architect who created St. Patrick's Cathedral. Built in 1856, this was New York's dedicated smallpox hospital during an era when the disease still terrified the city. Patients were quarantined here on what was then called Blackwell's Island, isolated from the rest of Manhattan. After the hospital closed, the building was turned into a nursing school and later abandoned. Today the crumbling stone walls, known as the Renwick Ruins, are a protected landmark. They stand as a silent reminder of the city's long and difficult fight against one of history's deadliest diseases and the people who worked so hard to save lives. In 1977, the striking 59-story Citigroup Center, now known as 601 Lexington Avenue, was one of the most innovative and talked about skyscrapers in New York. Its unique slanted roof and bold design made it an instant landmark. But just a year after it opened, its own engineer made a terrifying discovery: the unique welded joints on the columns couldn't handle strong quartering winds. Without the building's tuned mass damper running at full power, a major storm could have caused the entire structure to collapse. In a secret nighttime operation in 1978, workers quietly reinforced the building while it stayed fully occupied by thousands of people. The crisis was kept completely quiet for nearly 20 years. It remains one of the closest calls in modern skyscraper history and a story that still sends a chill down the spine of anyone who hears it. Finally, the lost 13th Avenue and Manhattan's hidden landfill. In the 1830s, the city decided to expand the western shoreline of Manhattan by creating new landfill out into the Hudson River. They built an entire new street called 13th Avenue, complete with piers and warehouses for shipping and industry. It was a bold engineering project that literally added new land to the island. But decades later, New York changed its mind. The city actually removed large sections of that landfill and the avenue itself to reshape the waterfront for modern use. Today only tiny remnants of 13th Avenue survive, hidden in plain sight near Gansevoort Street in the Meatpacking District. It's a literal piece of Manhattan that the city built, then deliberately erased from the map. New York never stops revealing its secrets. These 7 untold mysteries remind us that every street, every park, and every landmark has layers of history most people never see or even imagine. Which one surprised you the most? Was it the ghost subway station, the park full of forgotten graves, or maybe the secret wine cellars inside the Brooklyn Bridge? Drop your favorite in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss another hidden story from the city that never sleeps. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.